Hello, everybody. So, welcome to day one of
Wow.
the Confident and Visible Empath Retreat, season 2. We are
We're
so
happy to be here,
we're
right?
so excited. I feel the energy. I feel
And we'll
everyone.
be honest, it takes a lot of work to get to this point. So, behind the scenes, it's not all just ease and peace and smiles. I still have my head today, but Veronica was a little, wondering if I should be a part of this today or if I would make it here. I was wondering if I'd
I
make
think
it
you
here.
were wondering. So we do want to say to everyone, because this is a retreat about for empaths, being confident, being visible, that yes, there are challenges that come with the journey, but the rewards are so incredibly rich. And that's what pulls us towards expansion, all of us. So welcome to every single one of you. We are so grateful you are here. Today is special because we are doing today live. What we are encouraging you to start with is to have a fresh candle if possible. And really, we're going to help and support you in getting clear on your intention, not just for the retreat, but for your new life. And I don't mean in some I mean, like really choosing. If you think of a sailor and the sailor decides to go to a particular land, in order to go to that land, if the sail is shifted by a degree, I mean, literally a degree or even half of a degree, if that navigation is slightly shifted, the destination of that sailboat is going to be entirely different over the course of however many days.
And if you're not a sailor, and you most likely have been in a car or have a car, and if you want to get to New York, if you're just a little bit off or you don't know your intention to get to New York, how are you ever going to get to New York? Like, how are you going to get there if you don't know that that's where you want to go? So
Yes.
this is really about, so many of us get in this place of not being clear about what we want and where we want to go. So this is about kind of clearing that clutter, any of the fears, any of the doubts that are kind of creating shades around you, trusting in yourself and trusting in your vision and going for it. That's what this is about,
Yes.
is really supporting those who are empaths and highly sensitive and heart-centered people who get kind of caught up in the same obstacles. So we're going to address a lot of those today and through the rest of this week. And we have amazing people here to do that
We
with.
do. Okay, so we are starting today with the amazing Helena Reilly, who is a quantum sound healer. You may have experienced her magic, power, beauty, otherworldliness. Really, she's such an exquisite energy, and she's going to be starting the retreat with us today to get us in the right frequency. Then we're going to be moving into some visibility, energetic clearing, like visibility block clearing. And we are going to complete today with a process that we usually share with our coach trainees, but we wanted to give this to you because it's really important that we have a very clear direction for our lives for this retreat and beyond. And we set our sails on a glorious horizon, and we are going to be supporting you in this. And over the 8 days, guaranteed, just notice where you're at now. Have your notebook. You might even write at the start, like, this is how I feel right now. Moment 1 of the 8-day retreat, be honest, and use your new journal or your journal to jot down any ahas, any ideas, any insights that come through from the speakers, as well as your own insights that come from the guided experiences you're going to be brought through, whether it's meditations, quantum sound healings, all kinds of transformational experiences over these 8 days. We're not just interviewing these amazing experts to help you get in their minds and understand how they got confident and visible as empaths with very unique messages, mind you. They are not trying to fit in. They are we selected
Really, yeah.
this group of people because they are so themselves and they have no apology. It's just like, this is what I'm called to share, and they're not watering down their messages. They're very powerful. So not only are we getting in their minds as far as how did they achieve such freedom in their voices and visibility, also they are guiding us through experiences and practices they use in order to harness their energy and drop into a deep level of presence and confidence.
And the beauty is the practices are simple.
Yes.
So there's something that you can easily apply and bring into your life and actually make part of your life. It's not just a one-time shot where you do it once and then you're done. We know what we need to do to keep our energy elevated is it's a daily practice, right? It's a
Yes.
daily integration and application. You just don't eat one meal and you're done for the rest of your life. It's a continual eating of meals and health and nutrition to keep yourself healthy and vibrant and alive.
Yes. And before we welcome Helena in,
I was just going to say,
yeah,
writing things down. We just wanted to reaffirm writing things down when they come to you, because if you don't write them down now, they're gone. Half of it's gone in just moments, in minutes. We want to get that stuff down that's really landing for you. So really have that pen and paper next to you and utilize when something hits, use it and go for it. Okay.
Yeah. And we just want to say hello to all of you beautiful souls: Mandy, Trevor, Marie, Lily, Lawrence, Debbie, Krista, Sarah, Joy, Susan, Clarissa, oh my goodness, Colleen, George, Kayleen, Isabella, oh my God, Lawrence, John, Josie. There are just so many beautiful souls. Please do let us know in the comments where you are coming in from. And we are going to be asking you to share, some things in the comments about what your insights are, because that will help everyone. So we love that you're all here. We see your comments. Hello, Julie from South Florida. Oh, so good. Okay. So let's take a deep breath as we prepare this beautiful retreat for the amazing, I have chills already just prior to welcoming Helena in here. Let's take a deep breath, just breathing really deeply into your whole body. And as you exhale it out, just letting go and making space. And as you take a deep breath in, on your next exhale, if you haven't already, just closing your eyes, turning within, and releasing all responsibilities for this moment of anyone else's energy, anything past or future. And just receive life force into your whole body, taking the deepest breath you've taken all day today. Exhaling out an audible sigh, just letting go, making space. And now just starting to bring your awareness to your body. So these are 3 B's we practice often. We call it shine time, to come back into the moment, to come into peace, breath. And now second is body awareness, just checking in with your body. And wherever your body feels like she or he can use a little more energy, just bringing your hands to that place, or maybe a couple places, being with your body. I'm here with you, body. I'm not leaving. I am here. Take a deep breath in. Good. And now dialing into the 3rd B, which is brow center. So we have breath, body awareness, and brow center. With your eyes closed, drawing the eyes up to the bridge of the nose or the brow center. And letting your eyes fall still on that middle point. And this is really helping as you breathe to harmonize left and right hemispheres of the brain, coming into peace between the creative and the more analytical sides of ourselves, so that they are in unification, in balance, harmony. Deep breath in. Good. And as you exhale, almost dropping roots down to the core of the earth, feeling yourself grounded. And as you're now grounding more fully into your beautiful, powerful self, what quality would you like to embody more of by the end of our retreat? So 8 days from now, what would you love to embody more of? Is it peace, vitality, confidence, courage, clarity, connection, freedom, joy, exhilaration, calm, serenity?
Or if you want to cultivate a negative quality, you're welcome to do that. But we're going to invite you into peace or love or joy. Yeah, much more than all those other qualities.
So if you could clarify the word, the quality that just strikes a chord in you, it's like, oh my God, I'm yearning for this. A word I've been playing with lately and embodying is nourishment, deeply nourishing my cellular body, my physical body, my soul, my spirit. Nourishment. It might be love. It might be whatever it is. What is that word that feels great to you? And whenever you're ready, please write that in your journal. This is your North Star for the retreat. And we're going to support you with many friends that you now have in aligning and embodying this energy for yourself, okay? Forever, from here forward, this is your North Star. And feel free to write it in the comments.
We'd love to see what you are putting down.
Yes.
I'll just share mine as well. Mine is divine acceptance right now. It's like being able to really accept what is right now, so I don't have to be on the roller coaster of life. You get to ride the roller coaster, but your mind and your emotions don't have to be on the roller coaster with it. So
He's
that's
very
something
good at that.
that I continue to just try to master even a little bit more.
Yes. All right. So without further ado, we would love to welcome in here the amazing Helena Reilly. We are so honored that you are here with us. I am going to read her bio to start here. And if you all just want to take a deep breath, really connect in and allow yourself to set the intention to embody the quality you wrote down and for it to expand more and more fully into your experience over these 8 days. So Helena Reilly is a renowned therapist. She's an award-winning author and co-founder of Quantum Sound Quantum Sound Therapy. Her pioneering work in sound frequencies and immersive quantum scalar energy vortex technology has led to lasting transformations and reduced stress for thousands globally. Her Amazon #1 best-selling book, Quantum Sound Miracle iCube, has been recognized as the top book in mind, body, health and wellness, and alternative medicine categories, highlighting the many benefits of her miracle technology. And her technology, from personal experience, is a miracle, as is she. So with a graduate degree in psychological treatment from the University of Chicago, Helena has been awarded the Best Therapist and Therapy honor by Who's Who of Distinguished Alumni in 2015. Alongside her late partner, Rob Loy, Helena co-created the Quantum Miracle iCube, which has helped thousands of individuals worldwide. Helena specializes in helping high-achieving female entrepreneurs to overcome burnout and achieve their full potential through creating quantum harmony homes that foster stress-free communication, harmony, genius, and joy. Helena is on a mission to help 1 million families brilliantly optimize their divine potential and purpose by creating quantum homes by 2023. I can't wait to unpack this a bit with all of our hearts. Welcome. We are so happy you are here.
Thank you, beautiful souls that you are. This is amazing today. And I want to thank you for creating this. Incredible.
Well, you're one of our great inspirations because you do this all the time, and we're just blown away that we do 2 of these a year and you're doing 10 of them in a year. And it's just amazing how you just keep producing such amazing content and bringing amazing guests in. So
It's
thank
fun.
you.
Yeah.
I enjoy it for some strange reason.
Well, you're such a testament to what you bring forward into the world because you embody this energy that's limitless, that's so effervescent and bright and powerful and otherworldly, yet somehow grounded here on our beautiful earth. How did this start for you? For those who are meeting you for the first time, was there a before and an after? Was there a time on your journey where you wanted to be sharing your gifts and maybe started tapping into them, but you weren't yet outwardly sharing them?
Actually, my story is very different than that. And I've now realized I was born this way. This is just who I am. And I could repress certain parts of that being. But what I actually developed was I developed an ability to psychically read people so that I would not say certain things to certain people. But I was born this way with this sort of unique view into the future, not a real sense of that the present moment to me always seemed changeable, adaptable. So the way that I was born actually is what turned into this work. Because of the psychic sensitivity, I could see, though I was born into a fair degree of affluence, not extreme by any means, that, my father ran a company, my grandfather invented the plastic eyeglass frame. So he had 250 employees and did not want the job that he inherited. So that I was perceiving from the beginning. And my psychic sensitivity allowed me to see that though they had, on the surface wealth, they were suffering from scarcity. And I could see the discrepancy. And also I could see that they were totally stressed. So there was a part of me, I never took on their full belief system, I guess was what it was. So I used to remove myself. And what happened was over time, I started to develop. I was also very fortunate. I was born in Newton, Massachusetts. So I was exposed to the Harvard, Brandeis. The research that was going on then was like encounter group psychology. Timothy Leary was my neighbor.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Oh my God.
I didn't know that until I was sitting there reading a book my freshman year. It was the summer. And I was in Colorado College in Colorado Springs. I'm reading the book and I went, oh my God, this is Timothy Leary's house. I hung out there. It was his first communal experiment. And so there was a little girl there, her name was Lisa, and she was my friend. I used to pick her up at the house when we walked to school. And so I was born this way, but what I developed was an ability to read the situation, but then I had to figure out how to balance my own energy when I would be exposed. So I was aware as a child and never shut down. And then when I saw the way my family was, and they used to fight and argue, and I would withdraw to my room. So the other thing is that I had two adopted brother and sister. So I was called the miracle child. After 4 adoptions, I was born. So it was a unique situation. And I started studying therapy when I was very young because I could see that they were under stress. And that's what was born today, is that I started taking courses. I took courses at Harvard in therapy because I was in Newton. So I was 7 miles away. And I started to really seek. Fortunately, I was in a very liberal school system, so they allowed me to do that. And I actually worked on the school system, but I started to develop emerging therapies because I was gifted some intern positions when I was still in high school, beginning college. And that's when I started to go down this road of seeing. So I was trained under psychoanalysts, 1 hour of work, 1 hour of supervision, and then process recording. But what I saw was that had limited. So the first child wasn't reading at 9. He started reading over the summer, and then he went back into his environment, stopped reading, stopped functioning. So I realized we needed another level. So I did go to one of the top universities, saw they didn't have the answers, and then went to the Indian masters of the Far East. And that's when I lived with the immortal Babaji, whose image is now all over the internet, and was the teacher of the teacher of Paramahansa Yogananda. And he taught me the essence of what I teach today, because I was very fortunate. I didn't get what a big dude he was. So I would just, and there were like less than 15 people there. So I would just go up and he put me in charge of music, which was funny because I knew nothing about Indian music. But I could go up and ask him questions at darshan any time of the day, and he would actually answer them.
Yogananda?
No.
No,
Oh, Babaji. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
no,
Oh,
not
my
this
God.
teacher's teacher, the actual immortal who doesn't even take human birth. He just appears.
Yes.
And so this is how I learned the nature of karma and how we are experiencing vibrational. When we're born, we're experiencing the impact of our vibrational karma, and it's our job to discern and work it out. And that's why I created the modality that I created. Is sound and frequency is basically 100 times as powerful as physical emotion. It's more powerful than any physical modality. So this is what I learned in interaction with these great avatars. Was I started to see that I could use sound to intervene, but I also saw that meditation alone did not hit the karmic patterns that were controlling the life. So this is where my psychic ability never shut down. And, we all call it blessing and curse because, sometimes we'd rather not know. So this, when I interacted with the masters, they actually put me in charge of therapy in 3 ashrams. And this is where I saw, and I know that they were showing me that the emotional blueprints that we're here to discern and kind of discard we're not getting treated by meditation or therapy. And that's when, so after I saw a lot of people in Guru Mai's ashram, because we were there for 2 years, I asked the universe to send, she told me, you're supposed to go back into healing. And I had previously owned a financial firm. So she said, go back into healing. And I made a contract with the universe right then. I needed to find something that was really efficient, that decoded the trauma body.
Yes.
That's when I arrived in Honolulu and eventually met up with Robert Loy, who became my husband and partner. And that's when because I had an amazing experience with his voice code sound therapy software and app. And I saw that even though I'd been in India for 2 years with darshan several hours a day, all of this stuff was pouring out of my solar plexus with the voice analysis to the extent where my very first recording, my very first voice code sound therapy recording, they actually had to stand me up. I kind of lost strength.
Wow.
And my mind, it kind of blew my mind because I had been living with Guru Mai in this ashram for 2 years with a baby son and a husband and, going for darshan because I had this child and doing therapy. And there was all this gunk that was just pouring out. And that was it. That day determined the rest of my life.
Wow.
Helena, I would love to touch on one piece that you brought up and see if you could go into it a little bit more. Is this part of, you stated I was born this way, and yet you're having all this gunk come out, right? So can you go into what you mean by that and how we as individuals can reframe the way we see ourselves in the world, so that, and how that helps us when you're reframing it this way?
Oh, I love that. Well, so what I realized about myself is that I'm a Pisces, I'm a psychic sponge. So the way I learn and the way I go through life is to feel my surroundings. It's not like I'm not an overly emotional person. I'm reading the frequencies and the vibrations. And it also does lodge into my field. So that was the part of understanding, but my perception was always different than others because I could, and still is actually. So I can read the energy like someone would read a book. And I'm just really realizing the extent to which I do this because I realized something strange. I went to University of Chicago. This was pre-internet. I never went to the library. And so all my friends were like, how do you do this? The way I learn is through the field. So I was able to psychically read the professor and regurgitate as needed. on a test. So I never had to study the way that they did. So it's, and I'm going deeper into that because as we study the field, as Einstein said, the particle, the wave is the sole governing agency of the particle. And what that means is that the field is controlling us on multiple levels. And what I learned is that I had a very refined sensory field. And I could be the victim of it, which, you know, we've all met many people just like me who they became the victim.
Yeah.
This sensitivity, and it's information, so that we're receiving this information from the field, and I believe it's because when I came in, I managed to maintain some level of third eye awareness. And what was different is that most of the people around me, Boston is a very, it's a conservative place also. So conservative and very intellectual. So being born this way was that there were times in my life, and I think there are a lot of those listening in this audience, where I wanted to suppress or repress or see it differently. I wanted to be able to go to a party and not feel terrible if somebody was upset, or, you know, or be more normal and I believe this is a common thing, but
Right. Normal, fit in, right?
it just doesn't happen for me. And
Thank God. Thank God. Hallelujah to that.
I know, but as we all know, and probably many of you listening, it's
Yeah.
not comfortable being this way. So what I made the decision of was to turn it into a karmic strength and to make it into a gift to the world. And also to use the gift because I could discern. And I think many of those listening use the gift to discern and assist and serve. And that's what we did and now we're creating this movement. I've actually upped it to 10 million quantum harmony homes by 2033. And we are now launching the Quantum Shift Academy. So, and it's about, so when I saw this part of myself, I could have easily made this into a flaw. And what I did have that my mother sort of understood it. It's in the lineage. My grandmother was a very gifted healing psychic. They just didn't call it that back then. She was a mother of 7 children, so she was busy, but she was able to heal people. And so I think in the raising of the frequency right now, what's going to happen is we're moving into an awareness where, because of some of the new inventions on Earth, including 5G, there are positives and negatives, especially for the sensitives and the empaths. But the key is, in the one point that I would make today, is the key to transcend. And I learned this well into this project, actually, is to harmonize your brain waves consistently, to learn how to do that. So for example, right now when I'm teaching, I can tell I am in gamma. This means I didn't know I'd go to this place that has to do with the audience and the message that they need and the energy that I'm projecting. Now, we'll have some frequencies to listen to in a bit. But if you learn to master the invisibility, the invisible brainwave patterns, you can master your life. As you know, as many say, you become a quantum creator. And you also, when you harmonize your brainwaves, you learn to access the field effortlessly, which is what I was doing as a child. We just didn't have any words for it. It was accessing a field. Nobody understood it. My mother always said, when I talked to her, she'd say, "You're so deep." So I was accessing the field then, but we can teach step by step accessing the field using sound frequencies as the gateway. And the main aspect that we are needing to learn now is to master the frontal lobe, which is our greatest asset. It is much more than being a billionaire. Being a billionaire is nothing compared to mastering the use of the frontal lobe, which occupies 40% of the brain. And you can snap it on. That's the amazing part of it all. You can flip the switch to the frontal lobe, which is what the story of my son shows. And when you do that, you're in creator mode. And this is your birthright. And we have frequencies to turn on the frontal lobe. And it's where your visions come from. It's where you will suddenly solve that problem you've had for 1,000 years. But the reason it becomes so important is that what's happening now is they're going to create a massive campaign to disempower humanity with fear. And you cannot be in fear and love at the same time, but you also cannot be in fear in the frontal lobe at the same time. So if you learn this one tool, you'll be able to tell when you can switch it on. And this then changes the program that they're trying to teach you on earth. Because if you get anything from what I'm saying, it's that if I'm learning from the field, and the field is now instructing us to go into fear, we need to stop that program and master the prefrontal cortex so that you can interpret the information correctly. And this can be done so easily with sound frequencies and analysis.
Helena, can I ask, because you're touching on this, and it's a simplistic question, but it's important to state. Because really everything's a frequency, right? Everything is a vibration of frequency. And so what are the things that are the frequency that are keeping us in those lower vibrations or away from being able to be in this state? And what are some of the frequencies that are much more supportive to arrive and be and remain in this state?
That's a great question, actually. And that is the essence of this presentation, really, is that fight, flight, freeze, primitive brain activation goes into cortisol reactivity. And what the science is showing right now is that humans are staying in, that's high beta. And because of our use of technology, we're staying in high beta longer periods of time. This is when we're working, thinking, doing. Now, this staying in high beta, you should be going into high beta and out of it. But what happens is this triggers cortisol reactivity and fight, flight, freeze, or what most are calling primitive brain states. And when you become aware that this is being triggered, the media triggers this constantly in humans. And it's by flashing images that are frightening and telling you about the worst events that occurred on planet Earth yesterday. So it's like, okay, now here it is. We've got the worst events. We're going to show you the scariest stuff. And we're going to frame it in a certain way. So then what happens? You receive the information, triggers fight, flight, freeze, cortisol reactivity. You cannot create, you cannot heal, you can't even interview in those states.
Yeah.
And that the nervous system gets overstimulated and the emotions. So then people go into rage and the craziness, the chaos starts to occur. Here's the problem. They're now training people constantly into that. And I do want to make one other point, which is that the biggest mistake that was made on Earth was to apply the concepts of Newtonian physics, which is that everything is solid. But in truth, everything is frequency. And we're on the water planet. So we're always in fluid movement. I almost opened this talk with a dance.
Yes, let's do it. Yes, yes.
We are in a fluid, it's fluid here.
Yes.
We're finally getting to, you want to do it? Yes, so we can feel the field and clear it.
Yes.
But when the field comes into you in a way that you're triggered, you do sometimes need to go into action. Like yesterday, I got a message that I had to fix something at the shop. You do have to go into action, but you then have to put a time limit on that, move out of that state into calm coherence, which
That's
is
powerful. So
yeah,
it's time limit on the action, because this is really practical. Like, so
very.
sometimes you have to go into action, but you're maybe off center or not in that harmonized brain state, but something needs to get done. So like you had to go to the shop and do the thing. However, you put a boundary around that thing to get that done so that you can come back and really prioritize the harmonized state.
And
That's
make
very practical.
What's that amount of
Yes.
time? What's the time like in action and then taking time to recenter? Like, is there a time frame that you suggest?
That's a great question, actually. So usually, and it depends on the challenge. So let's say you're a mom, you're getting your kids ready to go to school in the morning. You might need, I would say that when the nervous system gets triggered, the most important thing, especially over the next 5 years, is to become aware of it. And do you need to pause? Do you need to take action? Is it a real situation? Is it, and what kind of action do we need to take? Now, I would venture to say that if you go into fight, flight, freeze for more than like 15 to 30 minutes, you're fried, actually. So you need to step back and recalibrate, and do some breathing is probably the quickest way out. Humming, like right? You can move out of a psychotic break if it was really traumatic. But it obviously depends on the event. But what I'm suggesting here is that I'm realizing that now I've been in healer mode for many years, but now I'm stepping more into warrior mode. And the reason is, and I'm just realizing this, the reason for, and I'm suggesting this for everyone, you need to be aware in that moment of what's been triggered. Is it, and ask yourself, is this real? So let's say, obviously they're doing a new launch on the pandemic, and God knows what happens. So is this real? And then recenter and notice how it's impacting your nervous system. Then do a deep breath, realize, do you need to take action? Is this real? And then do the constructive action for whatever period of time. Yesterday, I had to spend, I would say I spent about 3 hours resolving the problem that was brought to my attention the evening before, and then went and calmed down, brought it all into alignment, but set it up. And
Beautiful.
And so I believe that if we become conscious of this and become like warriors of the fight, flight, freeze repetition that humanity's going into, we just live a different lifestyle. We're now living in our truth.
It's like that sort of clarity, yeah? Like that.
I like that.
That discernment. Yeah, I really appreciate what you're sharing, because even right now, so many of the questions that came in, to the Facebook group, for example, for this event were, how do I get my frequency into a healthy state? How do I stop sabotaging myself? How do I trust myself? How do I, maintain a vibration that's vital when there's so much fear and uncertainty going on in and around me? What would you say to that person?
I love that question. Thank you for asking that. Here's the problem. We basically received roughly 61,000 hours of programming from the womb to age 7. So it's not so overriding this programming. If it's donuts to donuts or dollars to dollars, is 61,000 hours of therapy, retraining the brain.
Oh my God, 61,000 hours.
Is that all?
It's
That's like a weekend's work.
And I didn't include the 3rd trimester when you're starting your recording, and you're probably really listening then. And some of us never stop listening. Here's what we figured out. And this is the great gift, is your voice. There are no 2 voices on earth that are identical. So it is usually the subconscious that grabs the program triggers you and you go into fight, flight, freeze and overreact. And that lowers your frequency. Some for days, weeks, months, years. So what we developed was a voice analysis software and app that decodes your subconscious so that the contents, and they are deeply embedded, we are deeply entrenched. Honestly, I'm kind of mind blown because I just uncovered something in my past, in another lifetime, that I had a complete blind spot to. And it was so freeing, but the voice will reveal these blocks when you're ready. That's how you raise your frequency, is by over time detaching. It doesn't happen overnight. Detaching, disengaging. I will say frequency can shift you up really high in seconds, but you then have to maintain this. The frequency will support you, but if you get triggered, you got to pull yourself out of the trenches, in essence. And the voice code is where your traumas are stored and can be released, can be detected and released. And this was the great genius of Robert Loy, was that he not only saw that, because he was, I would say, about 1,000 times as psychically sensitive and aware. He was able to see that this was the medicine that humanity needed, because what he kept on saying was, I'm here to stop the downward spiral. So when you can detect in your subconscious using frequency, so we don't attach a story, because one of the problems is that when we attach a story, we get attached. And then we get attached to the story. And then, I've been doing this actually recently, I realized, and it's hard not to, in a sense. But when that gets vibrated out of the nervous system, it will not have the hold on you. So that's the nature of sound frequencies.
Yeah, I just want to say, I want to affirm what you said earlier as well, because you said it quickly, but it's so important, is humming can take you out of a psychotic break. So that's an extreme, and then there's also the subtle, like it could take you out of a stressful moment. Every morning I hum. I mean, I'm singing. I keep practiced in, my throat, my humming and singing. You're going to take us through an actual sound healing and let us experience the power of vibrationally shifting instantly through the sound healing, the quantum sound healing. And I also want people to know, to really hear that your own voice is a very simple, powerful, always available way to shift out of a stressful state.
Yes. And the reason is that we are carrying the memories, the codes of the past. This frequency actually can vibrate the codes out of the field eventually, completely. So we birth the new human through frequencies. And that is the new paradigm. It's been kind of slow, but we're seeing it emerging in beautiful ways. And we're having many conversations about it, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Helena, I'm hearing the frequency is your community. This is what you're allowing into your field. The frequency is your family. The frequency is your friends. The frequency is the news, or the frequency can be the mantras you play, the sounds that you offer, the vibrations, the frequencies that you offer through your technology. It's whatever those frequencies are that we're around is our community. That's what's informing us. And then what you're saying as well is then it requires us taking action and responsibility
to maintain
it and keep that frequency moving through our life, day to day, night to night, etc. Is that correct?
And clearing the blocks and the obstacles that have been sabotaging, removing our power for centuries, clearing those impediments, those things. We all know what they are, that they stop us constantly.
Are you out there ready to clear some of that?
Clear subconscious. Yes, your subconscious is really powerful.
Because I feel like why we're so happy and grateful that you are here with us is, first of all, your energy, your wisdom, what you're helping us tap into, and the technologies you're bringing forward are instantaneous.
That's true.
It's literally, last time we were like, oh my God, how do we speak now? Like, we can't even
Well,
talk.
we should have done you last day, Helena, so we could just have stayed in that state. We'll see if we can manage the rest of
Setting
the
your
session.
frequencies, yes. But this will, and the idea is, as many say, is to activate the heart and the brain, and this is 100 billion neurons. So just be aware of that. Each one of us is a community of cells, 100 billion neurons that are seeking frequency information. It's tragic what we feed it, actually. Like, it's really kind of tragic when you think about it. But we're so, and with the 100 billion neurons, each neuron has 10 to 30,000 connections. So that's how vast human consciousness. Exactly.
I am just right now tapping into what you just said. It's so tragic what we feed it. Like a light switch just went on. It's like we have this technology right here in our own brain, in our own nervous system, in our own body. Then we're tapped into the quantum field, which is not fixed. It is totally and utterly malleable, capable of changing on a dime in an instant with the certain mindset, frequencies, whatever we're feeding ourselves, the people we're around, the sounds, the whatever we're exposed to or not allowing ourselves to be exposed to. We have so much power is what I'm hearing. We have so much power, and you're reminding us of this. So before we open up into your beautiful quantum sound healing, I just encourage people right now, like, write down what is feeding your soul and your body and your energy. And we're going to be going into this in the third segment of today's retreat. But really, what are the things that are depleting your energy and what are the things that are contributing to it? And we're going to ask you through this retreat for 8 days to set some boundaries as an experiment. What happens when you live by what Helena is saying right now? Oh,
It's not what you think should be feeding your energy, right? It's a lot of the shoulds and the beliefs of, well, certain people in my life, they should be feeding the positive, but are they actually? Because that's not always the case. What should be happening and what is actually truly happening, it takes sometimes us hitting the get real button.
yeah.
If they don't have, if we haven't worked out enough of our stuff, or we don't have enough self-love, we're not going to be vibrating at a high, we're not going to be vibrating in a way that does uplift people.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear someone asking you right now. I don't know where this is coming from. People struggling with self-love. How do they activate that self-love?
I really feel frequency healing is the way to activate self-love because it's the shortcut. It's what releases. Frequencies are pure. They're mathematically derived. They have at least with us, there are no concepts behind them, algorithmic, therefore neutral. So if they are correct, they not only clear, cleanse, release, but they also uplift because the frequencies are actually addressing the lack of self-love and clearing the issue, especially when you're doing the voice code. So the way is to surround yourself with tools and things that keep you evolving, because and to become very aware. If you walk into a space and it doesn't feel right, become very aware of that. And if you can, remove yourself. If you can't, shield yourself. So become aware of how it's impacting, because environments will influence your field and you have to do work to clear it. So it's a process. I guess the point is, it's a process, as the Canadians say, right?
It is a process.
Oh, thank you so much. Because that was such a great setup for the sound healing itself, for the quantum sound healing. Is there anything you want to say prior to us diving into your beautiful experience?
Yes, I will need to do screen sharing because I'm going to pull the frequencies up from a PowerPoint. And also, I would like to say that allow the frequencies to resonate and feel where they're resonating in different parts of the body. And also notice if you start releasing. some emotion, and be with that very lightly, taking a few deep breaths into the deep Buddha belly to start. And then we'll be implanting the frequencies into your field. You'll be experiencing an exchange of energy. So the premise is that we are frequency beings. So let's listen right over here.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so we're going to start now. Hold on. Okay, so what we are going to do is I'd like you to start by breathing and clearing the field of energy. This soundtrack is designed to clear emotional energies, extraneous energies that may have entered your field from elsewhere, but just allow it to wash so that you're, stand up and show you how to wash. So that you're allowing, interacting with frequencies is active, actually. So allow the frequencies to wash through your field and become aware that we're in a field. Tangible. Just allow it to clear. Emotions, extraneous emotions, you put them behind you.
Hey, Helena, we don't hear it. So
Okay.
I'm wondering, there's a, in the sound, I think what you need to do is actually shift in under the mic where you,
Audio settings, like, yeah,
Yes.
the mic where it says
Share
audio.
sound. That's because Natalie's not here. Hold on.
yeah,
Yeah, there we go.
there we go.
You heard me, but not. Okay, let's start again. Clearing. The clearing soundtrack was designed actually to clear not only your personal field of extraneous emotions, energies, but also the field. So if there are energies that are interfering, this will clear it. That can be astral energies, psychic energy. So this is a very significant soundtrack. We'll share this as part of our gift. Now bring this into your field to clear it. When I clear a field, and this is when you clear it, you're actually removing. And this is what I meant by me being me, is that I feel it on the field. I have to clear it. Now, when you want to bring the energy in, Now we're going to play some frequencies to increase your well-being. So notice when the pure tones come in, notice where that resonates in your chakras. Just feel the frequencies. And now, let's see, I know okay, you asked the question, let's raise your frequency. Notice how you feel before and after you listen to this. This soundtrack was gifted to us from some elevated masters, and these frequencies are designed to shortcut your inner work. So you take a quantum leap. In closing, when you use frequencies to access the quantum realm, you will liberate yourself from even the thought that you're merely human. And as a divine being, of course, you have the capability both to heal and to raise your frequency in a moment's notice. I want to thank you for having us and wish you a really successful event. Thank you.
Thank you with all of our hearts. Whew. So I would love for everyone to take stock, take inventory of how you feel right now in comparison to how you felt prior. I am so grateful to you. Wow. Is it normal to start humming as well?
Yes.
Okay.
I start humming and dancing and
Thank God for the mute button, because I was like, there's a whole other sound coming in here. Wow. I mean, we have these available to us at all times. Thank you. And I know you also have a gift that you're offering this
yes.
beautiful community. Do you want to share a little bit about that? So those of you who are watching the recording, you will see the gift link just below. You'll click the button. Those of you who are here with us live, we will put it.
Well, you'll get the email for Helena's recording. So just
Fine.
click on that, and then you'll get it right below.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've just decided I'm going to include 3 soundtracks, and then there's a master class and a copy of the Quantum Sound Miracle IQ book, so to understand this is a science of the future, and we are happy to be bringing it to Earth. It will heal you, and healing now means harmonize, empower, awaken, to love with scalar optimized sound. So sound heals. Yes.
Oh,
So
wow.
let's have some fun, because you are frequency and you're divine. You're divine because you're frequency. That's what you're composed of. You have no limits, really. So connecting to the quantum is the key to stepping out of your current reality or the fearful aspects of reality. So I want to thank you for having us. And
Thank you so much.
With so much love and so much gratitude. Thank you for opening this beautiful retreat with this quantum sound experience that has just transported me to another place. I actually feel more embodied, which is very, very empowering, because oftentimes there'll be like a leaving the body but it really feels, I feel clear.
yeah, it looks like you access so much from the crown and the third eye that, and especially in doing something like this, which I do understand, you definitely get elevated, but then the grounding. So we'll throw in a grounding soundtrack.
Oh,
Actually, I'll have them send it over to you today.
Oh, great.
Amazing.
Find
Thank
somebody.
you. With
You're
all of our
welcome.
hearts, we love you. We thank you so, so much. And where can people find you and your amazing technologies? What is the best website?
QuantumSoundTherapy.com is the best website. Yes.
Okay. And those of you watching the recording, all the information is just below. And with all of our hearts, thank you. Thank you. Thank
And
you.
You're welcome. And enjoy these beautiful teachers. You're amazing and a beautiful couple.
Oh, thank you.
So much love to you, Helena.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
Okay. I love you both and all of you.
Mwah.
Ascension journey. Enjoy it. Have fun with it. You deserve it. You deserve bliss.
Ooh,
So it is.
enjoy. Do you hear these words? Enjoy. You deserve bliss. And I love the track that she shared with us about just accelerating the inner work. It's like a lot quicker and easier. It's like a quick way to process and clear some of those energies that just need to be integrated and cleared.
So you can fly free again.
Yes, which is our birthright.
And it's the only reason, you guys, we do all of this is it increases our bliss quotient, right? Isn't it?
So it is.
Yeah.
Is
Is there any final words? Like, I feel there's any final words you would say to those who want to be visible, they want to shine, they want to share their gifts, but they're holding them back in some way?
I would definitely say to use the sound frequencies to accelerate the clearing. so you can stand on the stage as a confident empath. And you want to really pay attention to what you're feeling in order to go to the clearing, so that you're, instead of who you were programmed to be. That 61,000 hours needs to be rewritten. Consider it a long book that you finished. You finish the book, start a new chapter and a new story, so that you can, because we need you. We need all the healers in the world. We need all the lovers. So do the clearing gently, compassionately. Don't judge yourself. We've all been through the human experience.
Yes. And may this be the beginning of the new story today, all of us together.
And so it is.
Yes,
And
9-9, great day. It's a 9-9. So it's a complete.
Yes.
Yes.
just to let you know, people are saying how amazing they feel.
I feel
and
so
awake.
wonderful.
My sinuses are clear. So people are having some really good experiences just from the little you shared today. So
Yes.
thank you so much again, Helena. And
You're
for all of
welcome.
you who are with us live, we're going to take a 3-minute break.
Yes.
And so if you need a bathroom break or get some more water, let's do that now. And then we'll come back and we'll start with our second session.
Yeah,
Okay?
you're getting so many thank yous, by the way. I would read all of them, but there are so many tingling, so much energy, so much shifting in the body. Like this is real transformation.
Good.
And Judita says, oh my God, this was amazing. I'm still in bed and enjoying it so much. Was so tired when I woke up, but feel so energized now.
Brainwave harmonization. That's what that is. Yeah.
Yes.
That is.
Okay, you guys
Thank you.
rock.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
See you
right.
soon. Have fun.
Enjoy what you're doing. Most
Thank
important.
you.
Ciao for now.
That
Bye-bye. Okay, so we'll see you back in 3 minutes.
Yeah.